The keeper who wouldn't let go. In football, moments of triumph and tragedy often share the same field. For some, glory ends not with cheers, but with silence. It happened in a small town where football was life, and every game felt like a war between pride and pain. The young striker, only 21, was known for never backing down, even when his body begged for mercy. That night, the stadium lights buzzed, the crowd roared, and the air felt too heavy to breathe. Then mid-run, his body twisted, and he fell like a puppet with its strings cut. At first, everyone thought he had slipped, until they saw the way his eyes stared blankly upward. Paramedics rushed in, their cartoon siren lights flashing red and blue across the empty field. But nothing worked. His heart had stopped, silent, defiant, and final. Later, they found out he'd played with a hidden heart condition, one ignored for fame. His teammates never played the same again, every match haunted by the image of his fall. Some said they could still hear his cleats running on the turf at night, long after the games had ended. Others swore they saw him in reflections, in glass, in rainwater, even in the TV replays. The club built a statue in his honor, but at night, its eyes seemed to follow those who passed. On anniversaries, the team leaves flowers, but sometimes the petals are found burned by morning. Locals now avoid the field after dark. They say the turf hums when the floodlights flicker. His death became legend, a warning that even passion can kill when pushed too far. And now, whenever the crowd roars too loudly, some swear they hear his name carried in the echo. They called him the Iron Keeper, a goalkeeper who never feared pain, until the night it found him. The match was violent, every save a collision between courage and destruction. Midway through the game, a storm rolled in, thunder rumbling like distant drums of doom. The keeper refused to stop, sliding across the soaked grass as if fighting the storm itself. Then came the corner kick, and spinning fast, too fast for human eyes. He leapt high, arms outstretched, and struck the goalpost head first. The crowd gasped, but he didn't fall immediately. His body stood stiff like a broken statue. Then, slowly, he collapsed, his gloves still clutching the ball. The referee blew the whistle, but even the sound felt wrong, hollow, echoing, endless. Paramedics rushed in again. This time, their sirens didn't even reach him in time. They said his skull fractured instantly, the impact crushing the life out of him. The team never replaced him. His uniform stayed in the locker, untouched, gathering dust. Some nights, security guards claim they see him still guarding the goal. Others swear the net moves by itself, rippling like something invisible is blocking shots. A year later, during a memorial match, the new goalkeeper fainted the moment the whistle blew. They canceled the game, locking the gates, but the wind still carried the sound of gloves clapping. His ghost, they say, protects the goal, but only if no one dares to play there again. Every year, when the rain returns, the goalpost hums, and the Iron Keeper rises once more. He was known as the Lightning Striker, the player who could outrun thunder itself. Every shot he took looked like fire leaving his foot, burning through the night sky. But during one stormy match, nature decided to strike back. The wind howled through the stands, bending the corner flags like broken bones. The referee tried to delay the match, but the striker refused to stop. He lined up for a penalty, lightning crawling across the sky above him. The whistle blew, and the sky answered. A bolt of lightning struck the goalpost, blinding the entire field. When the smoke cleared, the striker was still standing, burned black, unmoving. His boot had melted to the turf, fused by the heat of the strike. The ball rolled slowly into the net, untouched, as if claiming victory itself. The crowd screamed, but the thunder drowned every human sound. Paramedics arrived, but his body was still upright, frozen mid-kick. They buried him with his boots still fused to his feet, a warning to those who play through the storm. Now, when lightning flashes over that same field, players see a shadow running beside them. Sometimes the floodlights flicker in rhythm, like applause for the dead. Fans whisper that the thunder carries his chant, the last roar of the lightning striker. And when the rain finally stops, the goalpost still hums with electricity, waiting for its next victim. They called him the Captain, a leader who played through pain, pride, and punishment. His body carried more scars than trophies, yet he never missed a single match. The doctors warned him. One more hit to the head could be his last. The doctors warned him. One more hit to the head could be his last. The final match began under a heavy sky. Thick clouds, no stars, no wind. Early in the game, he took a brutal header, skull to skull, echoing like a gunshot. He dropped instantly, eyes wide open, body twitching on the wet grass. Teammates surrounded him, shouting, but his body didn't move again. The medics came, but the captain was gone before they reached the field. When the crowd realized what happened, the cheering stopped mid-breath. Days later, the footage aired on television. The moment his life ended replayed again and again. His helmet, cracked in half, was placed in the team's Hall of Fame. But at night, staff said the helmet sometimes rolled off the shelf on its own. The locker where he sat still smells of wet grass and blood. Players say they hear footsteps pacing before every match, slow, heavy, deliberate. Some swear they feel a hand on their shoulder when they hesitate before kickoff. The legend says the captain still plays, unseen, unheard, waiting for his next match. And when the whistle blows, his ghost always takes the first step. He was known as the Machine, a striker who never stopped running, until his heart stopped him. Every match, he'd play like his life depended on it. Maybe it actually did. Teammates joked that he had no limits, but limits always find you. It was a cold evening in Prague when the ticking inside his chest began to race. By halftime, he couldn't feel his arms, but he refused to come off. Cameras caught him whispering something before the second half began. "One last goal," he said, "then I'm done." 10 minutes later, he broke through the defense, eyes wide, heart pounding too fast. He scored and then froze mid-celebration, smile stuck on his face. He collapsed backward like a puppet whose strings were cut. The medics tried for 20 minutes, but his pulse never came back. The scoreboard still showed his final goal, 9:09. That time became legend. Fans started calling it the Machine's Minute. Years later, a new player took his jersey number and collapsed in the same spot. Since then, no one has ever worn that number again. But sometimes, at exactly 9:09, the floodlights flicker, as if he's back. They say if you listen closely, you can still hear the ticking. Waiting for one more goal. They called him the Captain of Storms, a defender who led his team through every battle. But one match, the storm didn't stay in the sky, it came for him. It was a summer friendly in Argentina, thunder rumbling like a warning. The referee wanted to stop the game, but the captain laughed it off. He shouted, "We finish what we start," and the crowd cheered. 5 minutes later, lightning struck the pitch. Everyone dropped to the ground, except him. His body glowed for a second, then froze like stone. When medics ran in, they found no heartbeat, only warmth. Cameras caught the moment his eyes flickered open. He stood up slowly, silent, and walked off the pitch alone. The crowd thought it was adrenaline, until he never came back. For weeks, players swore they saw him in their dreams, still holding the armband. One night, the stadium lights turned on by themselves. Security cameras showed a lone figure standing in the center circle. When they reached the field, the grass was scorched in the shape of a man. The next morning, the team retired his armband forever, and every time it storms during a match, fans still look at the sky waiting for him.